Hey maker friends, I hope everybody is having a lovely day today. I know I am. It's a little bit overcast here today, but I'm not complaining one bit because I know our hot weather is just around the corner. Let me know where you're joining us from. I myself live in Panama City Beach, Florida. Also, don't forget to let me know if you're watching us live this morning or if you're catching it on a replay. For those of you who may not know me, my name is Kerri and I run a YouTube channel called Mama Dares to DIY. We do a lot of fun and easy and creative stuff over there. So if that's the kind of stuff you're into, definitely head over there after our live this morning and check that out. Y'all, I'm going to be taking over a maker's studio this morning to share with y'all a super fun project. I'm going to be doing some new stuff for me. I'm using some mediums and some things that Amy's come out with that are so brand new that I have not even played around with them yet. So I'm going to be doing it for y'all live and in real time this morning. So cross our fingers that everything turns out like it's supposed to. I love trying new things, don't you? Okay, so you ready to see the stencil we're going to be using? Y'all, this stencil is beautiful. This stencil is called Ode to Moth. And y'all, this stencil is new to me because this is going to be 2 or 3 different layers for our stencil that you can actually layer on top of each other so we can change colors easily. We're going to be able to get some dimension with these stencils and I'm super excited. Something else that Amy has come out with us to play around with is alcohol inks. I know alcohol inks have been around for a while, but y'all, I've never played around with them. I've never used them. So this morning, I'm going to be playing around with some alcohol inks and also our Ode to Moth stencil. Do you want the chance to win the stencil for your very own? All you've got to do is to add a couple of your friends' names down in those comments below. Tell them to hang out with us this morning over here at a maker studio because we are going to make something that is super duper fun. Are you ready to get started? Let's hop onto our workspace now. Okay, y'all, let's take a closer look at our Ode to Moth stencil. You can't say that 3 times fast because you'll definitely get tongue-tied. Isn't that pretty? All of the details are absolutely stunning. I cannot wait to layer this. This is my very first time to use a layered stencil, and I'm really excited to see how it goes. So I'm only going to be doing a 2 layered. So I'm going to do this little, I think it looks like a little locust, don't you? So I'm going to cut this apart. Amy's got this nicely lined, so it makes it easy to cut out. And if you want to go ahead and cut out your pieces, then you can. I would also suggest numbering them on the back. One of our other makers had suggested that for a layered stencil. So if you want to number them 1, 2, and 3, so you'll know in what order after you've cut them out that they need to be put on, that would be super helpful. But since mine is only 2 layers, I think I'll be okay. Isn't this a fun stencil? What would you see yourself doing with this stencil? If you're just now joining us, you do have the chance to win this amazing stencil. All you need to do is to drop a couple of your friends' names down in our comments below. Tell them they should come and hang out with us this morning over here at a maker studio. Okay, so this is a huge stencil, so I'm just going to go ahead and move it off of our workspace so we can see just a little bit better. Okay, so this is the 2 parts to the stencil I'm going to be using. As I said when we first started this morning, I am going to be using the alcohol inks. And y'all, your alcohol inks are going to come in this super cute little burlap bag. And there is a ton of colors in here. Just look at that. You are going to be able to make so many beautiful things with these alcohol inks. I'm also going to be using Yupo paper, and this is a new medium to me as well. It's supposed to be an innovative kind of synthetic paper. It's non-absorbent. It's not going to buckle when it gets wet, so that's going to be the perfect paper for our alcohol inks. I'm also going to be using some of our gel art inks in metallic gold, Well I Declare, and I forget what the black's name is. Can't Never Could. There it is. It's hard to see right there. So those are the colors that we're going to be using. And now let's take a look at the colors with our alcohol inks. So I kind of have this vision in my head of like a Monet painting with all of these pretty colors. So I want to do an apple green, a sapphire blue, a golden. I'm going to use blue, light blue, grass green, and then some purple. I think I might actually have another purple color in here too. The purple-ish. Okay, well that's enough colors. So I'm going to tear off a piece of my Yupo paper. Have you ever used this before? This was my first time. And it kind of feels like a photograph. You know, the paper that photographs come on, that's sort of what it feels like. It's really neat feeling. It's very smooth and slick. So what I'm going to do with our alcohol inks is so simple and easy. I did try this a little bit ahead of time last night before I went to bed, just because I didn't want to feel totally clueless for y'all. So the look I'm going for, I'm just going to tap in. I don't want big globs. If you want big globs, you can definitely squeeze. But I just want to sort of drop in my color. I want it to kind of run together and just be really fluid. So one thing I discovered when I was trying our sample piece is when you drop gold into your alcohol inks, you get a super cool look. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. Can you see that? It sort of gives like a marbling look. I think that is so pretty. So literally all I'm going to do is to drop all of our colors all over our Yupo paper. You can do big dots, little dots. You can even get close to your paper if you want to have it in a specific place. But I want mine to look just like a watercolor painting. Watch when you get some of those colors together. Let's drop a little bit of our gold on here. And it just explodes. I'm hoping the camera can pick up what this looks like. Let's drop another bit of gold in there. Isn't that fun? Have you ever used alcohol inks before? And I honestly may be using them totally wrong. If I am, please let me know that as well. But y'all, my channel is a Mama Dares to DIY, and I do definitely try some crazy things without thinking them through sometimes. So once we get the entire piece of paper covered, I'll show you what I did. I actually did one last night just so you could see the look that I was going for. And I really like how it turned out. Dropping that gold in there is just such a fun look in it. And you can take a straw and you can blow your colors around. You can also take your paper because it doesn't absorb, and you can sort of move your alcohol ink around if you want to have more of a watercolor effect. I just did little drops on the one that I did last night, and I think it turned out really pretty. But one thing that I did do that I really loved, after I had all of my paper covered, I took a spray bottle with some alcohol, and y'all watch how pretty this turns out. Can you see that? I'm afraid the camera is not totally picking it up, but watch, it really looks pretty. Once it's dry, you're just going to spray it, and you're going to get that watercolor look. Isn't that fun? So I'll show you the one that I did last night. Move all of these out of the way. And I've actually gone ahead and put it into a frame. Isn't that cool? I went ahead and put it in my frame because, y'all, I'm going to put my locust right in the middle of this. We're going to put it on the glass. How fun is that going to be? I love this. I'm not sure if the camera can pick up all of the gold accents. I hope it can, because the gold just really sets it off. So again, if you want to play around with the alcohol inks and you want to just have it where your inks are sort of swirled together, or if you just want to do the dots, that is totally up to you. This one is the dots, and this one I actually tilted my paper so that the colors could run together. And you can see the really cool look you get after you spray it with that alcohol. It just sort of gives it a softer look. Okay, so I'm going to grab my little silicone squeegee here, and I'm going to start off our bottom layer. I want that to be white, and you need to take into consideration the finished look. So see, this is my first layer, but the finished look is actually a little bit larger. So I want to sort of line it up with the finished look and not the look that it is right now, because it is slightly larger. Actually, no, let's bring it down just slightly. Thank goodness for our mesh stencils being able to be reusable, right? Okay, that's better. Now, you want to make sure you burnish your stencil in, and that's simply just pressing down so that the entire thing is stuck. And that's going to be just like that. So now I'm going to do my bottom layer with my white, and this is Well I Declare. If you wanted to use your chalk art, you could definitely do that if you're wanting to be able to take it off, but I want this to stay because I think it's going to be super pretty. We're just going to press that color down into our stencil. This is a fun little bug, isn't he? The locust. Now I do have a water bath right beside me that I'm going to drop my stencils into. You don't want your paint to dry. Okay, there's our first layer. Can you see it? He's going to be so cute. I am going to mute our sound because I'm going to take my blow dryer and just dry this first layer. So we're going to mute this really quickly. Okay, I think that's pretty dry. We're going to hope that that's dry. You do want to make sure that that first layer is completely and totally dry before we line up that second layer. Okay, so here goes nothing. Let's try to line up this second layer. I might have to get off camera just a little bit so I can line it up because my eyes are not the greatest in the world. I really hope that my white is dry and I don't get any of that other paint. Let's make sure. Okay, we're going to hope that it is. I don't want any of my white paint to be picked up. So we're just going to very carefully line up this top stencil. Okay, I think that's pretty good. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to burnish it in. Next, we're going to take our gold. Here, let's clean off our squeegee. Now we're going to go in with our metallic gold. It might be just a little bit too much, but it's all right. This gold is so pretty. It's got a great sparkle to it, but it's not like an obnoxious gold. It's a really pretty old world gold. Okay, now let's pick this up and see what we've got. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna drop this down into that same ice bath or water bath so that my paint doesn't dry. Okay, so now I'm gonna mute it again and we're gonna dry this part too. Okay, I think this is pretty just like it is, but I really want my locust to pop just a little bit more, and I want my alcohol inks to be on the background. So for that reason, I'm going to pop my glass back out now that I've got my, see if I can do this without breaking it. And y'all, this frame I just picked up at my local dollar store. Let's see if I can get this off without tearing it up. These backs are on this one. Here we go. So to help make this pop a little bit more, that's what I'm going to use my black gel art ink for. I couldn't do it until I got my image on. Isn't that pretty? Oh, I love how that turned out. But see, now I can see my locust, so I'm just going to do like a reverse, and I'm going to take a paintbrush, and I just want to very carefully, I'm not worried about getting out of the lines, I'm okay with that, but I just want to be able to highlight the bug. So my thought is give him a black background, and it is going to be a messier look. I'm not going for perfection here. I just want to sort of outline it to help make it pop. Once this first coat dries, I may have to go in and put another coat. And I think it's pretty just like it is, but I just want a little bit more of it to show through. I think the background is so beautiful that the little locust needs something to help make it pop. I'll mute again, and I'll use my blow dryer to dry it off. And if I have to off camera put a second coat on, I will do that, but this will at least give you an idea of what it looks like. So let's flip it over. Isn't that neat? So I'm going to dry it before I put my paper back on because I don't want it to smear. I honestly don't think I want the black to be any darker. I really like that it's a little bit translucent, but not a whole lot. So I'm just going to put my Yupo paper back in. Put my frame back on. Make sure I've got him the right way. Yep, he's the right way. So y'all, what do you see yourself doing with not only the alcohol inks, but this Ode to Moth stencil. What do you think about this project? I think it turned out absolutely amazing. Isn't that pretty? I love that the black ties in on the frame, and honestly, I'll probably take my gold and just go over the silver that is already in the frame. I think that would just sort of help bring in that little element of gold. And I can use the same metallic paint that we did on our locust. This is such an easy and fun project. And you can look for frames from your thrift stores. You can look for frames at your Dollar Trees. You can look for frames even in your grandma's attic. I really love working with picture frames. And this one was fun because it really, even though it's plastic, it doesn't look plastic. So adding in the gold really does help bring it up a notch. It would even be pretty to put some gold leaf on here. I definitely love the touch of the gold. Don't you? Don't forget, you've got the chance to win this beautiful Ode to Moth stencil. All you've got to do is tag a couple of your friends' names down in those comments below. Also, don't forget to let me know, did you catch us live today, or are you watching us on a replay? This is such a cute, cute project. Another idea that I've got for these Ode to Moth stencils is to do rocks. How pretty would it be to put these on rocks with your metallic colors and put them in your garden? What do you think about this project? Do you love it? Let me know down in those comments below. Y'all, we are almost out of time, and it's a good thing because we are almost done. I'll pick this up and let you see up close how it looks. So pretty. Okay, y'all, here is our finished project. I'll let you see it a little bit up close. I love the mix of the alcohol inks on that Yupo paper with this double layered stencil. What do you think about it? What are you going to do with this stencil for your projects? I would love to hear your thoughts and hear your ideas. Also, let me know, did you catch us live today or did you watch us on a replay? Y'all, I love how this turned out. I can't wait to do more with the stencil and also the alcohol inks. I've got to run for now, y'all. Until next time, happy DIYing, y'all.